today we've been rejoined. Not only just over a week ago, we had Aimee on from the GWS AFLW Academy, and she's back for another week. Aimee, thanks for coming back on.
Thank you for having me, Cooper. Excited to
no worries. Absolutely, sure. Now, we're going to do it a little bit differently to how we done it last time, but we just want to rehash a few things that we covered last time, Aimee. So, for people that don't know too much about you, how did you become a part of the Giants Academy, and what type of player are you?
Wait, sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
All right. So just to rehash a few things that we repeated last time. So tell us a bit about yourself and how you got in the Giants Academy.
I got into the Giants Academy through coming through from the Western Sydney Academy. That ended, so I'm pretty sure the Giants came out with their Academy inaugural female season. And yeah, just they reached out to me and I just started from there.
It's very good. So how are we going to run this today, Aimee? We've had a long discussion about this. So basically how this episode will work, everyone, is that we're going to throw each other questions. So it's not just going to be me asking Aimee questions over and over again. We're going to ask each other questions. So Aimee, let's fire it up and start up with yourself. What's your first question you got for me?
My first question I have for you was why were you interested in having an interview with me? Like the first interview.
Yeah, very good. So yeah, well, I reach out to a lot of people, through different leagues, academies, through AFL, AFLW, VFLW, WAFLW, state leagues, academies like the Swans, the Giants, etc., men or women. And yeah, just to build the channel up even more, because some people will say, oh, look, well, you want the big dogs, but unfortunately, you don't always get what you want. And I try and branch out to every league, and it's like treat them all the same. Like, a lot of people don't treat like they have the AFL and AFLW, and they don't care about the rest. I want to show that every league, what level you're at, all matter.
Yeah, that's a good answer. I like that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, throw one back to you, Aimee. Now, obviously, you've been through your fair share of injuries, as we mentioned last time. So, concussions, obviously, Aimee, a really hot topic these days, about being very safe of everything. How are you in that space? Do you like how it is where in the outside of AFL, AFLW, you have to have 21 days off if you were to be concussed? What's your thoughts on all that type of stuff?
I personally, I feel like the league has definitely progressed in that space, especially because we've had a few serious injuries in the sport. So them coming out with this new rule or regulation, I think it's pretty good because it helps keeps the athletes safe. And if you think about it, before, because we weren't really knowledgeable around that space, it's dangerous, I feel like. So it's good that progressed and done some more research and stuff like that.
Yeah, sure. Now, I don't know if you've seen a post. If not, I'll fill you in on it. It was Hamish Brayshaw, former AFL player, was out his brother Angus retire from these bad concussions, and we talk about the AFL, and he vented on the AFL for a whole range of reasons, with inconsistencies in match review findings for suspensions and stuff. How do you feel that how the AFL is handling the suspensions these days? Because obviously concussion, players can't play ever again. Rory Sloane's just retired from a bad eye, and he could be blind if he ever got hit again. What are your thoughts on what he said in terms of that the AFL need to do more in terms of suspensions, because the inconsistencies is all over the place?
I feel because we have done a little bit of, but like I said before, the research has been, I feel like, a lot better than it was before. I mean, we're still not fully there yet, but in terms of him, and especially in the men's AFL, you've been seeing, you see clips on Instagram all the time where they're like, this person's been suspended for this many matches or this amount of time, stuff like that. Some of them are a bit,
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting, to say the least. But as for some of the things that they do miss out on, like you said before, he said that they should review matches and stuff a bit more like attentively. I feel
Yeah.
like we definitely miss out on some really important things there, because look, there's like, I'd say, a high number of like AFL players that miss out on matches due to concussions, and
Yeah.
it definitely should be less than that, because it's just, it's not good for the game. Like, people have to retire, like you said, for
Yeah.
something that should have been avoided, or should have been, the person should have justice for it.
That's right. Now, in the same topic of tribunal hearings and everything like that, Aimee, obviously you see all these players get stuck for chop and change. The AFL, this is something I don't like. They came out about a month, not even a month ago, saying that they don't have a different set of rules for one and not the other. Like, for example, they don't favour particular players or teams. And then you look at some of these suspensions. We're talking about the inconsistencies. They say they don't favour certain players when players are, like, I know this might be a hot topic being involved in GWS, but Jesse Hogan went to punch Lewis Young in the face. Now, yes, he clipped him on the chin, but, like, that was one, and then it was taken down to 0. And then, you got guys that are doing what they've been taught to always do in tackle, and they're getting upon weeks. It's not Jesse Hogan is just the most recent example. It's not Jesse Hogan thing, but there's players that have done that a fair few over the last few years, and they've either copped a low penalty or copped nothing in Jesse's case, and you guys that are doing what they're taught to do in tackling are getting punished for it. Even ones that execute it well, it's just because unfortunately someone gets concussed from it.
Yeah. It's definitely something that needs to be talked about more, because I feel like people kind of step on eggshells when they're like, feel like they're stepping on eggshells when they want to talk about topics like that, because the AFL is biased when it comes to teams. So I'm gonna just say, especially when you, like I said before, when you see in the media, you see, like, let's say your favorite player or like one of the top players, their suspension will be like 1 week, whereas they have maybe a lower quality player doing something a little bit less vogue, I'd say. And they're getting like 3-4 weeks suspension. And it's just like, I get it that they have their favorite teams, they have their favorite players, but this is people, like a serious matter about people's health and stuff. So yeah, I think they need to pay like closer attention to things like that.
That's right. I mean, the prime example was Paddy Cripps. Obviously won a Brownlow he had a great year, but that year he won it 2 years ago, I think it was. He shouldn't have been eligible because of how their rules were, because he should have copped suspension for what he did, and he got off. And this is the whole point of having favours and that. Like, oh, you're a Brownlow contender? No, you're not copping a week for that. Whereas, as you said, a lesser-known name to them anyway, we'll make an example out of you. It's just like, that's what I mean. It's all over the place.
Yeah, and it's I was also thinking as well, like, if you probably look at the stats for Australian sports, like nationwide, Australia will be up there. Or AFL will be up there with probably the highest concussions. Probably rugby as well. Yeah. It's just, we need to look into it a bit more.
Absolutely, certainly do need to do that. All right, what have you got next for me? All right, so Aimee, now what will you throw next? What's the next question you got for me?
Let me just put it up. Who are your top 3 academy players that you think will progress further into like the AFL, AFLW?
Good question. Now, this might sound slightly biased to a degree with one of the names I'm going to mention. Is Lachie Hogan. He's part of the Bendigo Pioneers in the Victorian League, in the Coates League. I've had him on not too long ago. He's a guy that plays off half-back and really probably doesn't get talked about as much. And I feel like with the names I could think of the top of my head at least, he'd have to be up there for sure this year. Obviously, there's a lot of academy players that will be drafted in the men's and women's competition. But the names that I can think of off the top of my head, and one of those would be Lachie, who will probably end up being drafted somewhere in the second round or so. So it'll be good to see how he goes. Now, from the women's side of things, some names that you may be awfully familiar with, Aimee. Ashley Patton, probably one of the next ones I would say in that spot. Obviously, she's played for SA, I think, as well. At some point, I think. I know against SA and those type of teams in those games, and she'll be definitely up there this year for sure. I mean, talked about from the start of this year, and she'll definitely be up there as well. And a name I want to mention is a bit of a dark horse. Now, I went down to Whitten Oval to watch the Bulldogs Sydney VFLW game. They had Swans had every player bar 3 be AFLW players, and one of those 3 was Abbie Martin, who had interviewed not long after that game. I think she's 19 to 21 range, so a bit out of the academy to a degree.
Yeah,
she was playing. Yeah, they had some really good players in that Bulldogs side, and I think she held her own. It was her first game at that level, and I thought she really stood well and had those AFLW players. I mean, I think, to be honest, at least in that game, she showed up some of those AFLW players. And I mean, all it takes sometimes is, 1 or 2 games to get noticed. And, some players have a good block of form, but if you're not noticed, you're not noticed. And I'm sure there was a lot of people watching that game, considering, it was Sydney's first VFLW appearance. And and it was a good, impressive game for her. And, now Sydney will have her on the radar being a train-on player. So who's to say it doesn't end up getting picked up? So I'll have to wait and see. That's a good question. I like it. And I'm sure, Aimee, as we said off camera, there's probably going to be plenty that I've missed, and we'll finish this and I'll go, oh, them. Oh, what about them? That's just how it rolls.
Definitely.
For sure. All right. So the next one up for you is your injury recovery. Now, we spoke not too long ago, as I said, obviously, about your injury recoveries and everything like that. How do you handle all that, Aimee? How frustrating does it get? And does it get to a point where you're like, you just can't be bothered in terms of like wanting to come back, or does every injury setback want to make you come back even more and make it even sweeter when you do?
Well, basically, kind of like since I started playing club, I'd say I've had injury. So, because it's been like 5-6 years now, roughly, with somewhat of an injury the whole time I've played. Some years, like especially after I had surgery, coming back and just doing better than I did before, and like really had my goals set out. But I feel like I did somewhat well that year. After I came back, and my mental health was a lot better around my injury, and I was managing it better. I'd say over the past 2 years has been a bit of a struggle, because it's like I thought I went through that stage where I was like meant to be over my injury, and then it's come back now. So it's like put me in a bit of a pickle where it's like, if this is going to continue happening, how are we going to deal with it? How are we going to manage it? And how can we progress forward? So I guess it's something that's been a rocky journey, and it's hard to see like what the outcome would be, because you never know if it, like with compartment syndrome, you never know if it's going to go away or it's chronic, but you never know if the pain levels are going to go down or go up, or if like you're going to heal properly, or there's like a lot of different aspects to it. But I feel like I've managed it pretty well so far. Especially recently, I've been doing a lot better. So
that's good.
I've been doing also, if you have an injury, do your rehab. I learned the hard way, because at first I was like when the physio would tell me to do stuff, I'm just like, it's not going to help. Like, it's just stretches. Like, it's just like, it's not going to help. Like, but definitely, I reckon, definitely listen to your physios. Definitely if you have little niggles or pain or anything, make sure you get them checked. And I think it definitely starts if you start handling it well at the start, it'll be faster recovery. That's
right. That's a really good advice to not only anyone, but obviously yourself. As you said, you took it different at first, and then, as you said, it proves now that was the way it had to go. Now, how are you, Aimee, though, with watching games being on the silence? Are you one that can watch a game and be okay with it, or are you one that watches and like, I can't deal with this, I don't want to be behind this fence, I want to be on the field?
It depends because sometimes I'm like, it's good. Like I'm watching the girls, and it's like good. Like I feel like a proud mom from the side, and then they win and stuff like that, and I'm like, it's fun to watch. But sometimes I'm like, oh, I want to rip into this game. Like it looks exciting, or like let's say we're losing or like we're down. I'm like, I just want to run on and just help out and do something. But it's I think it's more on the hard side than enjoyable side. Like I do enjoy watching the girls, but it's also something like I should be involved in some sort of way.
That's right. Now, in terms of players at the club, we kind of spoke about some last time, but let's see if there's a different answer, or maybe there might be something similar or something even fun. Who would you say some players at the club that you're like, okay, I could see these girls making it at AFLW level?
Like you said before, Ash Patton.
Yeah.
We have Ash Patton. We have Megan. We have Ammie. We have Ava. We have. I missed a few names last time, so I'm trying to remember the names that I missed. We have Charlie Canavan. We have Sophia De Stella. She's been under the radar for. We have Tamika Raw, Ellie Hall. We have a few younger girls as well. We have Bria, Darcy Postashaw, so that's Amelie's sister.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a lot. I don't know. I just think everyone's good.
That's really good, Aimee. Now, obviously, being a part of an academy, obviously, you get these privileges, which you spoke about last time, about having some of the, obviously, being aligned with an AFLW club. You have those facilities, you have those players mingle around, coaches, etc. How beneficial is it having those people of those at that level be around, whether it's once in a blue moon, but to have them there a couple of times, way more than what anyone else would?
It is very beneficial, but I feel like it hasn't been as much as like this year hasn't been as beneficial as previous years. Like it still is because I just feel like we've had them around less this season versus other seasons where we've had camps and they've come out to camps with us and had like talks to us and we've experienced more like games with them or things like that for that season. But I guess because that was going on, so it's a bit harder for all the girls to have access to that sort of
help. Yeah,
yeah, you get what I'm saying. Because we've had a few girls play VFL, so that's good. But I feel like it's very beneficial because it also like the whole point of us being in the Giants Academy, or the whole point of being an academy into a club is so we can basically raise that talent for them to go into that club. Not necessarily everyone goes into the club from the academy. They could go to any club they like, but one of the main points of the academy is to build players up to in the GWS AFLW side. So having that relationship or building that bond or somewhat introducing players to them or getting us familiar around them is pretty good. So it makes the transition easier.
That's right. As you said, obviously you've had some of the girls play in the VFLW games. Obviously they're playing their last game for the competition in the VFLW side of things this year. What's it been like seeing some of these players play in some of those games outside of the the ones that are currently listed at AFLW?
Sorry, I didn't hear the last bit.
That's right. So obviously in the VFLW competition, obviously a lot of the players obviously they're playing that are the AFLW list. But how good is it seeing some players that aren't AFLW listed get an opportunity, even whether it's one game or a couple or more, to see kind of get that adjustment to know what you need to do to get to that next step, because that is really the next step. The VFL side of things is the next step till the next step, AFLW.
I think I'm really proud of the girls that do make it, and the girls that do get selected for that, because one, I feel like it does challenge them a bit and showcase what they bring to the team or bring to the sport. And also, it's really good to just see like girls that play in the academy or around my age or my friends, see them progress and do better, and see that people actually see them and see their talent and for what they are and stuff like that. So it's good for them to have that exposure and stuff like that. So it's good.
That's right. Now, this is a question that I've just sprung up amongst you, and I did not bring this up to you beforehand, but you can see if you can think of some names at the top of your head, and you can throw the question back my way because I've definitely got some answers here.
Yeah.
Who would you say is one of, this is probably going to be someone outside of the GWS Academy, but who would you say is going to be one of the top draft picks in the AFLW competition this year that people should start keep an eye on? Is there any names that come to mind? Because I've certainly got a few.
One name that I have been seeing a lot is Ash Central.
Yes.
She's from Vic. I think we versed her last year. She plays for a team like far away, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she plays in one of the CTL teams, but I keep seeing her name pop up, so I'm definitely sure she's gonna get drafted. Another one that I think should or I think is gonna get drafted.
Oh, I mean, I think some people like to be modest, which is why I kind of like people that that aren't, though, like, if you're not them names, like they don't want to say themselves. So
yeah. Okay. Well, I have Hato's definitely getting drafted. I feel like Megan and Ammie and Ava, definitely those three are up there to get drafted.
That's right.
Sorry, let me just have a look at this real quick because I'm like forgetting everything.
Yeah, well, look, I'll throw some names there, and this will probably just be really obvious. I think Ash Centra's a perfect example. Zippy Fish is another one who has that name. Great Art is another one. Now I'm putting myself on the spot. Zippy Fish and Ash Centra, I feel like they're going to be two of the most obvious names. This is Sophie McKay from the Sandringham Dragons, who part of the Vic Metro side. Molly O'Hare, who's obviously from WA as well. So there's going to be some really good names. Lily Pattinson, who's someone I've interviewed recently. I think she could be someone that gets picked up this year, who's done really well in the Waffle competition this year. Someone who missed out last year, who would be a chance this year, is Jamie Henry, obviously from WA as well. So the WA and SA dominated the draft, the most recent one. But some really good names that I feel like be in that spot for sure. But there's some good names there for sure.
Yeah, I can't find them, but yeah, there's a few. Tanisha as well that I mentioned last time from Tassie Devils. She's been flying under the radar a little bit. I'm pretty sure she was in VFL side. She got invited to play VFL last year for one of the Melbourne sides. So she should probably be up there to get drafted by someone, at least.
That's right, for sure. But
that's all I can think of for now. But yeah. Oh, like I said, Emma from Swans.
Yeah,
that's in the AFLW Academy. Yes.
Yeah, she's playing this week. Yep.
You said what?
Right. I see she's got a name for the Swans this week, so that's good to see.
Oh, see? Yeah. There you go.
I look like a fool if I said that when I swear I just saw it before we just came on here, but that's good. All right, so what's one of your next questions, Aimee, you want to throw my way?
My next question is, who do you think enjoys the limelight?
Oh, of the people I've had on, or just in general?
I'll go to one that you haven't had on, and then one that you've had on.
Alrighty. See, all right. So one I think does love it that I haven't had on, I think would be Jack Higgins from the Saints, my own team as well. I've met Higo a few times. He's obviously a lively character, one that's always up and about.
Fan?
Yeah, sorry?
You're a Saints fan?
I am, yes. We beat your pies, I know, not too long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Jack Kings, I think he's definitely one that loves it. I mean, he's always around everything. He loves to be apparently talking to a few of the Saints guys. He's a jokester. He loves stirring people up, and I've seen it firsthand. I've spoken to him a few times, not online, but in person at trainings and that. I think Higo would definitely be one that would love it for sure, off the top of my head anyway. And one that I have had on, gee, Aimee, I don't know where you want me to start with this one. I think almost everyone, I would say 90% of over 150 people I've had on, I would say, probably over 90% of them. There is some that aren't the biggest camera people that love it. Oh God, there's so many, but I don't know if there's off the top of my head a complete and other standout. See, the ones that come to mind from recently. Oh God, I don't know. It's I could throw, as I said, everyone that I've had on. I think, to be honest, I think some of the people that I've had on twice. So some people, including yourself, have had over 10 people on twice. I think. So I would say every one of those 10 people, and the most recent one, who actually now was the first 3-time return guest, is Alicia Pisano, who was drafted to the Ds with pick 5, I think it was, in this most recent AFLW draft. We did a goalkeeping competition, so that was our 3rd appearance. So I would say Liz would be up there. I think she'd be the one that loves it the most out of everyone, but she'd be up there for sure. I mean, hey, you come on 3 times, I think you do love it. But I'd put yourself because we only did this a week ago and we're doing it again. So absolutely, I'll put yourself up there, Aimee, as well.
Guys, he forced me to do it. No, I'm kidding.
No, not true.
I'm kidding.
Now, I know you're kidding. All right, so just had to clarify because there's some people that will say something else. Right, so Aimee. Back your way, my friend. All right. So, what can the AFL and AFLW competitions do better involving anything about whether it's about umpiring, whether it's about rules, whether it's about payments, whether it's about academies, anything at all, anything in general that you can, like, if you were basically, like, again, similar to what we were talking about last time, if you were the CEO for a day, what rules would you add or change? Like, what would you like to see change? It could be anything, something mentioned then.
I would definitely like to see a longer season for the Giants and Swans Academy, and also get them involved in more like CTL games, or like get a nationwide, like how the AFLW travel in and out seasons to play games, throughout the season. I definitely try and have that at academy level or VFL level. Well, they do have that at VFL level, but they don't have enough games going on, I feel like. So I definitely have that at academy level where all teams can verse each other. Like, let's say South Australia's league versus Brisbane Lions or something, or like people from WA versus, like, just get the whole league going. I mean, they do have the national championships, but that's only a selected amount from, like, a very slim amount from each state, whereas academies, you have a broader selection, so more opportunities for everyone. That, and I would also say, for New South Wales to, how for the Allies, it's New South Wales, Northern Territory, that. I would definitely like to see the teams kind of split up a bit more. They kind of just merge together. I mean, it's good to see, like, all the states, like all different type of states and people from everywhere come together. But at the same time, I feel like the talent needs to be, because especially it's growing now, especially in the women's area.
With those,
they definitely should start looking into having their own selected area teams and stuff like that.
That's right. You're right. It's limited when you got the ACT and combined with the Allies team. I mean, particularly because it doesn't showcase as many people at that level because you're combining states or territories together. See, maybe why the others, like ACT and the NT type of states or territories combined, because they don't have as many competitions and maybe stuff. But I think New South Wales are at that level now where they can be separated on their own, like SA, WA as well. Even though the sides are separated, but I think that's because it's just a general fit that, Vic has the most talent pool. That's probably why they're split up in regions. But I agree with you. They should be doing something like that. Now, on the topic of women's footy, Aimee, how do you feel this standard of women's footy's gotten? Obviously, over time, the competitions in terms of everything, quality, people attending, everything. How do you think it's gone now the last few years, and what else can they do to go even higher?
Oh, it's exceeded, especially last season. Like, you've seen some players that started off a bit questionable, but they've gotten a lot better. And I feel like the quality, the pressure, the expectations have definitely heightened or gotten better, which is good to see because it makes it more exciting to watch. You see, like, for example, how the Matildas have also made the name for themselves in Australia, got the whole nation on board. Not saying that it's going to happen this year for AFLW, but I definitely see AFLW becoming like a bigger thing in Australia, or more recognized. Like, let's say someone like a tourist comes from a different country, they're like, oh, like, women play AFL in Australia, let's go watch it, or like, let's have a gaze at it or something like that. So I definitely think they've gotten better in that aspect, but we do need to work on I feel like we do a longer season. That would be great. And also, I feel like a longer season will also challenge the women a bit more, and also give them, because they're working hard for longer than they actually play, if you get what I mean. So it's like, I feel like some players do learn more or do progress better or showcase their talent more when they play more games. Whereas if you're training most of the time, you're not really getting that exposure, or you're around your club mates all the time, or you're playing little practice matches. I feel like, definitely a longer season would be better.
For sure, I agree with you. With the competition, I think I don't know the exact number, but it was in the late to mid 30s. I attended about 30 odd games last year, and that was including while I had cricket on Saturdays. So you add that, I probably would have had more games if that wasn't the case. But I've enjoyed it in particular last year, and obviously covering it is a big part of it as well. And I've enjoyed doing everything. And now, in terms of enjoying and favourite, I believe you got a certain question that relates to the word favourite something.
I was going to ask you, what's your favorite? Who's your favorite player, AFL player or AFLW player?
Good question. That's fine. AFL, I think for people that see my AFL stuff, they would know that's Mateus Philippou from the Saints. Obviously, I've had the privilege to interview him twice. So there you go. There's another one, Aimee. He obviously was picked. Oh shit! I should know this. He was a top 10 pick as well in not this year's draft, gone before, the one before that, 22. Obviously, this is his second year now. Played every game so far since he debuted in round 1 of last year. He's a ripper. I've met him a few times. And it's well documented that I've spoken to him since 2 months before the draft of that year. He's fantastic a few times. And I know this wasn't the question, but one of the best fan interactions I've had with a player, at least at AFL, is by far easily Mateus. Obviously, and I've said this story before, but I don't think many people have heard it. I went to a training, again, a bit like with the Jack Higgins thing, one day at Saints, and he knew I was coming, so I told him. But this was, at that point, he hadn't physically seen my face before, or he did online, but not in person. About 30 odd meters away from him, with all the fans signing stuff, and he's against the fence signing stuff with fans, and he's yelling out "Scoops" from a patron came. He's like, "Scoops," and he's like, "Oh, that's pretty cool that we're the one."
Sorry, cut out there for a second.
sorry for those technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. I just had to pause it because it decided to cut out on me. So I'll continue what I was saying. Imitation, yelling at Scoops. It's, we're Aimee. We're the ones meant to be doing. Well, generally are the ones calling out people, and it's just so cool to hear that. And sometimes these players don't realize how special moments like that could be, no matter how small they are. And for me, and he knows this because I've told him, and so really appreciate, someone at that level. Where, to be honest, a lot of people at that level, AFL, AFLW, anyone at those high levels in any sport, sometimes, Aimee, they don't care about, maybe not care is not the right word, don't care as much. Some fans at times, but to see an interaction like that just, proves that Mateus is a wonderful guy, and it's an awesome interaction. But he's definitely my favourite AFL player. Not only St Kilda, but AFL player. And from the AFLW side of things, Aimee G, I'd be very look, let's just say I have an answer, but I don't want to say it on here. I'll happily tell you off it. But yeah, there's so many though. There is so many.
Wait, how
I could put in that spot. Many from all clubs, Aimee. But yeah, there's so many. I'll tell you off camera. But yeah, there's so many I could put. There's definitely a lot in that top part. That's for sure. There's so many there. Now I don't know what happened there. We're taking turns in cutting out, I think. But that's okay. All right. So we'll move on to the. All right. Again, sorry for the technical difficulties. Now it was somebody else's turn to cut out, but that's okay. Or stutter, but it's okay. Now, Aimee, so a few more for you. So I do appreciate you coming on a second time.
Yeah.
You use an AFL or AFLW player comparison to the type of style of player that you play. Like, who would you say that would be?
Last time I said Ruby Slasher, but I take that back.
Yes.
I cool myself for a little bit.
Okay. You had a chance to change it.
I still don't even think of it.
Yeah, a mobile player.
Okay, let me just go to the Giants because that's like the only team I know how every player plays, kind of.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Yep.
Do they have a team photo on here?
You're talking about like the AFLW side or the academy one, or
the AFLW?
Okay. Well, a tall player. I'm going to try things on tall players. Zali Goldsworthy's a medium-sized forward and play down the mid, but I think we mentioned last time that different type of player. Sure.
Nah, she's fast on the floor and
put you on the spot.
She's fast. Think on the spot.
I know.
I think on the spot. Oh wow.
I know.
We used to have a player called now she's in Hawthorn. Louise Stevenson.
Oh yes, yeah, the Hawks. Yep. I know who you're talking about. Yep.
She's one of my favorite players.
Nice. Very good.
That's
a fair.
Catch, but she doesn't play. And Catch doesn't play anymore.
That's right and left. Obviously, the Hawks this year. Well, that was actually going to be my question back to you about your favorite.
Sorry. Okay, yeah, go on. I'm ready.
Well, you just made me think of that question when you said favorite. Then, so outside of Lewis Stevenson and a Catch, who would you say has been some of your current favorite AFLW players or AFL?
Okay, I have a list. I'd say Bree Davey, Ruby Slasher, Rowe, Mon Conti. What's skipper of Tigers? Why am I forgetting her name?
Yep.
Katie Brennan. The twins.
The Hoskins.
Yeah, the Hoskins, Sarah and Jess. Chloe Malloy. I feel like I'm being basic right now. Let me just switch it up.
No, See, this is unfortunately what happens to everyone. It happens to me as well. We put each other on the spot with these questions. It's good. It's good.
Charlie Rowbottom, I think that's her name.
Fantastic. Charlie's fantastic. Yep.
She's so good.
She is.
I'd say I kind of play like Charlie in a way.
Yep.
Charlie.
That's fair. After my she is.
And Haneen, Zarika, Alicia, Eva.
Yep.
Catherine Smith. I've got a lot, yeah. So I don't want to sit here all day. So yeah, I'll go with those.
No, that's nice. That's fair enough. Now you mentioned you go for the pies last time. So in the AFL, would it be Nick Dacos? I'm pretty sure you mentioned him last time.
No, it's not.
Oh, okay. Spill the tea.
I'm not really a Nick Dacos fan. I'm more of a I wouldn't say him because everyone just, I don't know. Like, he's good, but like everyone just loves him. You know what I mean? And like,
yes, they do. Yep.
I think I would go with Isaac Quaynor.
Oh yeah.
He's probably my favorite Pies player from the men's. But I don't really watch like I don't really watch men's footy like that.
That's fair enough. Okay, so is there any more questions, Aimee, that you have to throw my way?
If you had to pick one team to play for, in the AFL, what team would you play for? Apart from the Saints. You can't say Saints.
Oh, I was going to say, yeah, that was an easy answer. Ooh, okay. Well, see, here's the thing. It's a question like you're saying, who's your second team? Now, I want to stress enough, I don't have a second team. And I'm not saying this because you're on here, but it actually would be the Giants.
For real?
Yeah? Yes, for real.
So rare to hear someone from Vic say that because, like, other states kind of hate Giants.
Well, see, here's the thing. When GWS in the men's were round 4 of last year, they had lost a couple of games in that 4, I think, and people were, writing them off. I'm like, no, they may have lost some of those games, but like the way they lost was like a, one little thing goes their way, they're winning. I said, no, beware the Giants, Aimee. From round 4, 2023, I had said for the whole season, week after week, beware the Giants. No, they're coming. They keep winning. And when they lose, they're only just losing. And it's like when they were winning, They were never getting smashed. Like, they were a goal lost. And like the way they played, like, it was really good. And people started saying, no, they're not making it. I got ridiculed, actually, because at that point, Aimee, I was saying, no, the Giants are playing finals and they'll go deep into finals. And I got laughed at big time. You're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. You're a clown. Get off the internet. Yada, yada, yada. Then no, it kept getting to round 8, 9, 10, and people didn't really say that. And like, so what? They won a couple of games. Big whoop. I'm like, no, it's coming. And there's a big sound in the web for a reason, isn't there? And they came back all right. And then round 15, 18 range, people were like, oh, gee, those Giants are going all right. They're a chance. I'm like, oh, gee, I could have told you that 10 weeks ago, mate. It's literally. And they only lost by a point, I think it was. So against your mob. So it's like, or your other mob. So it's like, beware the Giants, and they freaking almost stole it. And they started perfectly right now.
Yeah, and they only lost to Carlton. Sorry, why did I say Collingwood? They only lost to Carlton, but it wasn't like a massive loss. So I guess we can go that for now. But yeah, they're doing pretty well. I'm liking the new coach. So
yeah, Adam Kingsley, he's done a terrific job.
He's doing so well.
Very, very true. Now I've got one more for you, sir. Going on, and if you've got any, you can happy to throw it your way, my way. All right. So, okay, we kind of gave this question last time, but I'm just going to say it anyway.
Yeah.
Actually, which one do I go? I'm going to pick one where I know there's going to be an answer, but something that could be interesting as well. Okay. So if you now, okay, here's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to throw you off here. We didn't do this last time. We didn't mention we're going to set this. So I'm going to say this right now, and it's going to be the last one for me. So I'm going to say some names. It's like a word association game, all right? So I'm going to say some teammates of yours, and you're going to describe them in a sentence, okay? First one, Process Shaw.
Fast.
Mm-hmm.
Good kicking. Oh, do I do in words or a sentence?
A word or a sentence, yeah. It doesn't, yeah, it can be whatever.
Ammie, she's fast around the ground. She's got good footy IQ. Her kicking's really good, and she's really knowledge. Yeah,
very nice.
Knowledge.
Your coach.
Which one? Oh, Georgia.
Yep.
She is experienced.
Mm-hmm.
Very chilled.
Mm-hmm.
Chilled. When I say chilled, it's not cold. Chill. And what's one word? And she can challenge you. Yeah, she's challenging.
Not bad. And the last one, she's been mentioned a few times, Ashley Patton.
Oh, funny, skilled, and very chill as well. She's pretty chill.
Very nice. Now, Aimee, if you've got the honours here, is there anything you want to finish off with? Is there anything you want to throw back my way, or are you good?
I was going to ask if you have a quiz for me. I like quizzes.
All right. Okay. All right. Impromptu quiz, as they say. All right. Now, okay, so you like quizzes. So, all righty. So, what topic?
Anything.
All right. Now,
if you're talking about like the sport, don't go AFL men's because I don't know anything about it.
I'll go AFLW. Right. Perfect. All right. Now you got to kind of, for this question, you got to fill in the blank. Matilda Schultz plays for what club and what position?
Who is Matilda Schultz?
Stiff. So you're going to take a stab at the club and the position on the field.
Okay, wait. Can I?
Can
I know, how old they are and when they got drafted, or like?
Do that one. All right. Okay, do the age then.
No. Like, can you tell me, like, give me a hint of like when she was, how old she is, and when she got drafted?
Yeah. So this is her. This year will be the third year.
So she would 2021.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. Yeah. I think it was when there was those 2 seasons combined. So.
Oh, okay, yeah. When they did 2 seasons in 1 year. Oh.
Yes. So 2023 was her first year.
Matilda. What was the last name again?
Schultz. Actually, that was her first year last year.
So that would have been before. She would have got drafted before they brought the other teams. Is she still the same?
So I made the mistake there. She was signed before that other season started, so I got a bit confused. So last year, 2023, was her first year.
Oh, okay.
So the club and the
new clubs.
Maybe a new club. Well, I know the answer, but
just gave me a hint.
Maybe I might have actually. Yeah. I could be throwing you off your game, Aimee, on purpose. I could be throwing you off.
New clubs that came last year.
Well, they weren't new last year. Last year was their second year. There's your next hint.
Not me like having a blur of all the teams that just joined.
So off the top of your head, 4 of the new teams were Hawthorn, Sydney, Port Adelaide, and Essendon. For that year, not last year, but like for the year before. This player.
Okay, so I say.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with Hawthorn.
Nope, Port Adelaide. Wrong. Right. And
I was
the other
gonna
part.
say Port Adelaide. Oh, God.
One. What position on the field? Ruck, forward, back, mid.
Does she play?
Yeah. I know the answer. It's to you, not me.
Her name's Matilda. I have a Matilda on my team. She's a back player, so I'm gonna go with back.
Wrong, ruck. Right, okay, but that's okay. All good.
Okay.
Okay,
to be fair, I don't know the person, so I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fair enough. Okay, this is going to be an interesting one. I want to hope you get this one.
Okay.
Again, name the club and the position that they play. Zali Goldsworthy.
Giants, and she. Oh, I think she's moved to. She's in the forward line. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll cop that. Well, good job. Right, and we'll do one more. One out of two. Not bad, Aimee. Not too bad. Yeah, okay. I'm just going to try and think if I can do a different style of question like that. All right, okay. So, name me the club. Actually, no, I want to throw a few names to you. I'm not going to actually position an age and all that stuff. I'm just going to say that a name, and you've got to guess what club they play for. All right, okay, yeah. Georgia Patrikios.
Saints.
Yes, good. Right, yeah. That's good. That's good. What's one? Jade Ellinger.
Oh, I know that name.
Very popular on Instagram too, might I add.
Georgia Ellinger? Did you say?
Jade.
Jade Ellinger.
Yeah. Amy's loud as we speak, everyone.
You said what?
I said you're getting the Google out now.
Oh, no. Like I said, North Melbourne?
Close. They played against them in the grand final with Brisbane.
I do know. I think I know her because can't say it on here, but yeah.
That's fair enough. You want to know how I know who? Well, I already knew who she was, but you want proof? Here you go. Right there. At the grand final.
Yeah. Wait, I'll type it to you. I'll tell you later. Wait,
Yep, sounds good. All right, next one. Brenna Tarrant.
Swans.
Of course, BT. She's a legend. Who I've also had on Twitter. There you go. So that's the answer to that question before about players that I've had on more than once. Okay, next one. Now, this could be a trick question if you didn't know about the recent trade period. Charlotte Wilson.
Oh, I've heard of that name.
Mm-hmm.
Wilson. Charlotte Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, can I ask, did she come from...
You can ask me that. Whatever.
Did she come from Sanford?
No. Vic.
Or CTL?
You put me on the spot here. I think she's 2021. So I don't know the exact... She is from... Yes. But she's not now. She's not at a Vic club now. I'll tell you that. She was at Melbourne. And now she's gone to a club that loves the sun.
Gold Coast Suns.
Yes. Boom. Good. I'm going to see there if you're going to fall for the trap of Perth being the hot weather, but the sun. But that good one. Gold. Good. All right. Georgia Campbell.
I really do know that name. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
Collingwood?
No, there is a Campbell there. That's Grace Campbell.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
So Georgia Campbell's Melbourne. And this was me at their BNF this year, or in December. Both. You got Charlotte Wilson on the left and Georgia Campbell on the right. So there you go.
Oh, my goodness.
That's okay. All right, next one. Tani Evans.
So, Giants.
I thought you were going to say something different then. I don't know why. It looked like you're...
I was thinking of what to say. GWS Giants or Giants?
Okay. Fair enough. All right, next one. Jasmine Garner.
Oh, yeah, North Melbourne. Did she
Perfect.
move? Oh no, she's there. Yeah, she's there.
North wouldn't want to lose her. She signed a 4-year extension about a month or so ago, or 2 months. All right, next one. Ooh, Ali Dalloway.
Giants.
Not
no,
no
she
more.
moved. She moved. Wait, she moved. She moved to
You almost said it. Yeah, you almost said the answer. No, you sounded like you were going to say the club, and you were going to be right. It sounded like.
I said Eagles, didn't she? No.
Richmond.
Oh yeah, she did too. I'm thinking of someone else. I was thinking of Aimee.
Now that's fair enough. How we're all good. It dropped there for half a second. Then you thought she went somewhere else. That's fair enough. All right, the next one. Now this, Aimee, there's a lot of Irish flavour in the AFLW competition at the moment. So I'm going to throw a few of the Irish girls up to you. So Neve Martin.
Don't ring a bell, but I'll try.
Okay.
Neve
1 in 18 chance.
Yeah, 1 in 18. Neve Martin.
There's a few Neves in the competition, which also can make it a bit harder if you weren't sure. So,
Martin's in the comp.
Victorian club. Victorian club.
Doesn't help when they have like 10 billion to close. I'm kidding.
No, through that, yeah.
Neve Martin.
Yep.
Like, I'm trying to think of what, if I was Irish, what club would I go to and be?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think it'd be Essendon.
Well, I'm not going to answer that. I'm going to answer that. So there you go. You might get this question right. No, I wish. No, North Melbourne. North Melbourne.
That would have been like the easiest.
Yeah, played in the grand final as well. Now the next, I'll do a few more. So we'll stick with the Neve Kelly. That's the next one.
Neve Kelly.
Yep.
Neve Kelly. I'll go for Essendon this time. No. I'll go for Melbourne.
Well, you were wrong both times. Adelaide.
Oh, I thought we were sticking with Victoria.
We went down to Adelaide for that one.
Yeah.
And the final one I'll bring up. Yeah, and I'll this now. I'm going to try and see if I fall for the trap here with this one. Okay, a catch.
Oh, hold on. Well, not anymore, but
no one technically.
Yeah, well, not anymore. But yeah, she did play for Hawthorn.
She did, and it played for a few other clubs too.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I'll throw a few more. Let's throw a few more at you. All right. Yeah. So, okay. I'm just trying not to think of the most obvious ones possible. Okay, Baldors.
Does not ring a bell at all. Baldors.
Think of Queensland.
Have to be Brisbane.
It is the Lions. All right. Well, now let's see how much of a true fan you are of this person, because you mentioned their name earlier. Charlie Rowbottom.
Oh, Gold Coast.
There we go. That's good. All right. Stick back with the Irish. The Irish. Olalali.
Wait, is this a trick question?
Oh, this one's not a trick question. No.
Okay, because I know that Giants recently got an Irish player, but I forgot their name.
Did? At least they have. Yes, they did.
Yeah, that's her name. Yep. This one, I'm gonna go Melbourne. No. Okay. Yeah, no. I'm gonna go Port.
No, Freo. Nope, the Dockers. Nope. That's okay. What?
Yeah, no. I don't like that team.
Go to the next one. Serene Watson.
Serene Watson. I swear you're naming like people that I just don't know.
Okay, think of a team that I go for.
Oh, you did not make that hard one bit.
Well, no, I didn't. It pays to listen, they say. All right, final one. Gee, I'd be disappointed for your sake if you don't get this one. Georgia Garnett.
Oh, Giants.
There you go. Perfect. See, we had to end on a good note. We couldn't end with an L. You had to get the next end with a W. Aimee, it's been a pleasure having you on again here. A different style of conversation, but it was been a good one. So appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me. It was good fun.
Absolutely.